Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
The Jack Welch Management Institute at Strayer University helps you go from, I know the way, to I've arrived with our top 10 ranked online MBA. Gain skills you can learn today and apply tomorrow. Get ready to go from make it happen to made it happen and keep striving. Visit strayer.edu/Jack Welch MBA to learn more. Strayer University is certified to operate in Virginia by Chev and has many campuses, including at 2121 15th Street North in Arlington, Virginia.
This is Optimal Finance Daily, the 4 best financial assets by Christine Luken of ChristineLuken.com. What are the 4 best financial assets you should own? Stocks, bonds, real estate, and gold? Those are all amazing assets, but the ones I'm talking about are a little different. These are the assets that anyone at any age with any bank balance can begin to develop. Here they are in order of importance from least to greatest. The 4 best financial assets. Number 1, a high credit score. Why is a high credit score a valuable asset? Your credit score affects your ability to borrow money and the price you pay for borrowing it. If you have a low credit score, your ability to buy other assets like a house, condo, land, rental real estate, or a business is greatly diminished. People with low credit scores are saddled with higher interest rates than those with high credit scores. Lenders view loans to people with lower credit scores as risky, and they charge higher rates to compensate for that risk. So for example, let's say you're shopping for a $200,000 mortgage financed over 30 years. For simplicity's sake, if you have a stellar credit rating, your interest rate will be 3.92%. If you have an average credit score, your rate is 4.92%. And if your credit really stinks, your interest rate is going to be 5.92%. You might think, well, what's 1 or 2 percentage points more? A lot. A person who has a 4.92% rate will pay $42,572 more in interest than the one who has the 3.92% over the life of the loan. And the poor guy or gal whose rate is stuck at 5.92% because of their bad credit will pay $87,553 more. Now you can see why a high credit score is indeed a valuable asset. If you haven't recently pulled your credit report and checked your credit score, do that now. Take the steps you need to improve your credit score so you're not overpaying to borrow money. Number 2, a high income. Why is a high income a valuable asset? Your income is typically your biggest wealth-producing tool. If your income is barely enough to cover your daily expenses and your debt payment, it's really hard to save money or build wealth. However, if you have an income above your needs, you're able to fully invest in your 401k or IRA, buy ownership in a business, or purchase other valuable assets. Just because you have a high income doesn't necessarily mean that you're using it wisely. I have plenty of clients who make serious bank, but have very little in the way of savings or investments. A high income is only an asset if you don't spend it all. What are some ways to increase your income? Ask for a raise or apply for a different, better paying position within your company. Work some overtime if it's available. Look for a different job with a new company that will pay you better, and be sure to counteroffer because most companies withhold about 10% from the first offer. Number 3, a high net worth. Why is a high net worth a valuable asset? If you have a high net worth, it means you're able to weather the financial storms of life. First, let's define net worth. Net worth equals your assets minus your liabilities. Add up the value of everything you own, bank balances, retirement and investment accounts, the value of your home, vehicles, and other assets, and subtract any debt. The answer is your net worth, which you definitely want to be positive. You see, it's possible to have the first 2 assets, a high credit score and a high income, but not have a high net worth, which is more valuable. In fact, I've known people with moderate incomes and less than stellar credit scores who have built a high net worth. How? By spending way less than they make and investing wisely. A high net worth is a cushion against the storms of life, such as job loss or illness. If you have assets and money in the bank, you can take care of your expenses while you recover your health or look for another job. This is why it's so valuable. And if you have a high income and great credit, it's much easier to build a high net worth. And number 4, a high financial IQ. Why is a high financial IQ the most valuable asset? Because even if you lose everything, your perfect credit score, your high income, even your high net worth, you have the tools to recover all of them. If the market plummets, the economy crashes, and someone sues you for everything you're worth, there's one thing that no one can ever take from you: your financial IQ. Knowledge is power, but applied knowledge is like a magical superpower. This is why you hear of millionaires who go bankrupt because of a bad business venture, yet return to their millionaire status a few short years later. They have a high financial IQ. They understand money, investments, and how to use debt properly. Possessing a high financial IQ will assist you in creating wealth no matter your starting point. The best thing about this most valuable financial asset is that it costs no money to get it. You can listen to financial podcasts, borrow books from the library like Napoleon Hill's classic Think and Grow Rich, watch YouTube videos on investing, and read blogs on money management. It will cost a little time and effort, but there's truly no excuse for not growing your financial IQ. You just listened to the post titled The 4 Best Financial Assets by Christine Luken of ChristineLuken.com. Imagine you're a business owner who has to rely on a dozen different software programs to run your company, none of which are connected, and each one is more expensive and more complicated than the last. It can be pretty stressful. Now imagine Odoo. Odoo has all the programs you'll ever need, and they're all connected on one simple, easy-to-use platform, giving you peace of mind that your business is always being taken care of from every angle. Odoo has user-friendly, open-source applications for everything. We're talking CRM, accounting, inventory, manufacturing, marketing, HR, and everything in between. Basically, if your business needs it, Odoo's got it. Odoo sounds pretty amazing, right? So stop wasting your time and money on those expensive, disconnected platforms and let Odoo harmonize your business with simple, efficient software that can handle everything for a fraction of the price. It doesn't get much better than that. So what are you waiting for? Discover how Odoo can take your business to the next level by visiting odoo.com. That's ODOO.com. Odoo, modern management made simple.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Checking off the boxes on your to-do list is a great feeling. And when it comes to checking off coverage, a State Farm agent can help you choose an option that's right for you. Whether you prefer talking in person, on the phone, or using the award-winning app, it's nice knowing you have help finding coverage that best fits your needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I have to say that while I have a high credit score, it's never been something that I've been really focused on. I also think it's important to remember that a credit score isn't really a good indicator of your financial health. It's simply an indicator of your ability to pay back the money you borrow. I used to think that having a high credit score meant that I was doing well financially, but you could be drowning in debt with a fantastic credit score if you make payments on time and have a low utilization of your overall available credit. A much better number to focus on is your net worth, as described in this article. I've been able to maintain a high credit score by putting most of my spending on credit cards and then paying them in full each month. But my reason for doing this isn't really for the credit score. It's more for the convenience and to get the credit card points. When it comes to your credit score, there's a point of diminishing returns. To qualify for the best rewards credit cards, a home mortgage with the lowest interest rates, or personal loans with the best terms, you usually need a solid job history and income, a record of responsible credit use, and a FICO score of 720 or above. And that will do it for today. Have a great day and start to your weekend if you're listening in real time. And I'll be back here over the weekend, where your optimal life awaits.